Welcome to the Dinosaur Review for Kids podcast, a show all about reviewing dinosaurs on a scale of 1 to 10 fossils before only the elite terrible lizards make it into the prehistoric cage match. This program is presented by the Stomp Tromp Roar Company and can be heard within all the rock layers across the planet. Grab your dinosaurs and your official scorecard because it's now time to dig for dinosaurs. Here's your Mesozoic host, Dinosaur Ranger Anthony.
Hello, all my junior paleontologists. I hope everyone is having a great start to their holiday season. Today is Tuesday, December 5th, 2023, and we are under 3 weeks away from Christmas Day. Ho, ho, ho! Now, as you all know, this is Dinosaur Ranger Anthony, and I'm your fabulous host of the Dinosaur Review for Kids podcast. And thank you again for tuning in to the best dinosaur show made out of Nebraska. I couldn't do it without all of your amazing support. What was that? Did you guys just hear that? It sounded like a frog, I think. There it goes again! But why are there frogs inside my studio for today's podcast? Well, that's because this episode has a theme, and it's all about speckled frogs. Have you read the book called 3 Speckled Frogs Sat on a Speckled Log? I've read this book to both of my children so many times, and I'm going to read it to all of you guys after our review today. But all this talk about frogs, what really are frogs, and how do they help create Jurassic Park? Now, frogs, unlike toads, live near or on the water. Frogs have more of an athletic-like body, smooth skin, a pointy nose, long legs, and brighter colors. Now, toads have a more of a squatty-like shape. They have bumpy skin, a broad nose, short legs, and more dull colors. Now, in the Jurassic Park movies, Dr. Henry Wu and his genetics lab use frog DNA to help fill the gaps left in the DNA that they received from the dinosaur blood that they found inside the fossilized mosquito amber. And Dr. Alan Grant, he even mentions the use of West African frogs in the first Jurassic Park movie. And funny enough, that is where we find today's dinosaur genus. Now, before we climb onto our speckled log for today's review, let's do a quick fun fact, give an update on the Dino Bus, and roar out some shoutouts. Now, today's genus has a row of 500 teeth at the front of its mouth. This has led paleontologists to describe it as all sorts of things, from a Mesozoic cow, to a hammerhead shark with legs, to a cross between Darth Vader and a vacuum cleaner, and even a Mesozoic lawnmower. Its teeth are definitely some of the most unique of all the sauropod-type dinosaurs, but we'll get more about that in just a little bit. Now, a quick update on the Dino Bus. We don't have no huge updates. I was hoping to have a bus ready, at least bought for the holiday season, but it looks like things will be waiting until the new year. Now let's give out some shout-outs. Shout out to Sprouting Minds on Maple Street. We went and did our fossil cart show for them a couple weeks ago and just had so much fun with all their kiddos, you guys. They were feeding paleo all kinds of fish, and we even did a volcano explosion like always. Happy birthday to Samuel and Ava. I visited their birthday party a couple Sundays ago and just had a great time with them and all of their friends doing all kinds of our birthday activities in our Triassic period package. Also, a happy birthday to Rowan. I visited his birthday party and again just had tons of fun entertaining him, all of his friends, you guys. It was just a blast. We had so much fun learning about dinosaurs and doing all of our dinosaur activities. Thank you and a shout out to the Millard South Craft Fair. I was there last Saturday, you guys, set up in the gym. They're also my alma mater. I went to Millard South, so I did the craft fair this year for them. All the all the proceeds went to the boosters of the athletics, all the sports, you guys. So I was there set up with my dig kits, my slime kits, my fossil salt dough kits, some t-shirts, selling all kinds of my homemade merchandise, you guys. And if you want to buy some of my stuff, go to my website at stompchomproar.com and you'll see my tab at the top that says the store, and you'll see some of my homemade goods that I make during the holidays, from my dig kits, my salt dough kits, and even my dinosaur slime kits. But again, shout out to the Millard South Craft Fair. Shout out to the Montessori Children's House. I visited them last Wednesday, just had a blast. And even the teachers, you guys, were having so much fun. They were asking me so many questions. It was truly just an awesome show, you guys. Probably my most favorite of the whole fall season this year. And also a happy birthday to Ellis. His mom actually booked me to come and entertain and educate all of his classmates about dinosaurs. So it was a little bit of a birthday treat for him, and I even had him help me explode our volcano. It was just so much fun. Now a shout out to Rockwell, Norris, Upchurch, Willowdale, and Morton Elementary School. Those are the 5 schools, you guys, that I've been a substitute teacher at over the last couple weeks, and I've just been having so much fun filling some of those gaps up in my schedule during the more slower season, but I'm still working with kids and educating them all about stuff in the classroom, math, English, social studies, science. It's just been so much fun. Now you guys, who's ready to climb onto their speckled log and begin our next dinosaur review? Let's do this! Ribbit, ribbit! Here we go, my junior paleontologists. We've made it back into the science lab, and it's time to review another one of those terrible lizards we call dinosaurs. Now, what genus are we reviewing today? This one, you guys, I've heard it said a few different ways. Just like in the past, we've always talked about how to pronunciate dinosaur names. Now, I always used to call this one the Nigersaurus. The Nigersaurus. But after more review and research, I learned that I might have been actually not saying it correctly, or how most scientists and paleontologists like to say it. So this one, you guys, is the Nigersaurus. The Nigersaurus. And that's because this is the lizard from Niger. And that is a West African country, you guys. And at one time, it was controlled by France. So that's why it has a little bit of that French accent. The Nigersaurus. The Nigersaurus is our dinosaur for today. And it's the lizard from Niger. Now, right here, I have my Lego globe right here that I had to bring downstairs to my science lab because the upstairs is fully decorated for Christmas, so I had to bring a few things down here to the science lab. But it worked out perfectly for today's review because, as you can see on our globe, there's North America where I am at right now. But we're going to shift our globe, you guys, and head to Africa. And that is where we're heading for today's Dynamite review. To Niger, where we find the Nigersaurus. Now, what type of dinosaur was the Nigersaurus? Now, this is a saurischian, those lizard-hip dinosaurs, and then it's a sauropod, those long-necked herbivores. The sauropod, some of my favorites, and then it falls into the family, the Rhybocosaurids. And the Rhybocosaurids, you guys, are a subgroup of those sauropods, and they're classified by a distinct set of teeth, and that's what sets them apart from the rest of those long-necked dinosaurs. So it's a saurischian, a sauropod, and then a Rhybocosaurid. Now, how big was this dinosaur? What was the length, the height, and the weight of our Nigersaurus? Now, this one is nothing compared to like a Brachiosaurus, a Apatosaurus, Diplodocus. This one is a lot smaller of those sauropods. So our Nigersaurus is up to 30 feet in length, or 9 meters, up to 8 feet high, or 2.4 meters, and can weigh about 8,800 pounds, or 4.4 tons. So it weighs about the size of a modern elephant that lives on our planet today. So it is a lot smaller than those more famous sauropod dinosaurs that we know and love. Only up to 30 feet long, 8 feet high, and weighing 8,800 pounds. Now, how fast was the Nigersaurus? What was its speed as it's going around the Mesozoic era? Well, it's very unknown, like most of our dinosaur genus, but I'm going to put this one possibly somewhere in the 20s, 20, 25 miles per hour. It's quadrupedal, as we know that means they're walking on four legs. Now, our Brachiosaurus, that one is under 10 miles per hour, 6 to 10 miles per hour possibly. But that one is just so huge, you guys. Those ones are getting up to close to 100,000 pounds. Our Nigersaurus, a lot smaller. And when I looked at the Amargasaurus that we reviewed a very, very long time ago, I remembered the Amargasaurus, they believe, might have been up to 31 miles per hour. That is another very small sauropod. So since our Nigersaurus is very similar in size to our Amargasaurus, I believe maybe they're running about the same speeds. So I'm going to put our Nigersaurus around 20, 25 miles per hour. 30 seems a little bit much, even for these smaller sauropods. Now, what weapons or defense did this dinosaur have? What characteristics did our Nigersaurus have back during the Mesozoic era? Well, let's get to their head, because that is what is really strange. And I've got one of my Mattel toys right here of our Nigersaurus, and I just love its face. It has so much of a weird, kind of happy smile on them. And that's because our Nigersaurus has a flat edge, shovel-like wide mouth with narrow needle-like teeth, you guys, and it has over 500 teeth. Now, they're not truly needle-like, really, really sharp, but they have somewhat of a needle-like shape. Now, they have a single straight line of teeth up there in the front. That single row, it's made up of 50 vertical columns that make up those 500 teeth. And these columns are something we call dental batteries. And that's when these groups or sets of teeth are all put together in these vertical columns. We see it a lot in duckbill hadrosaur type dinosaurs, and we also see it in these Rhebacosaurids, like our Nigersaurus. And get this, paleontologists believe they replace their teeth every 14 days. That's every 2 weeks. Our Nigersaurus was replacing all kinds of teeth as it's eating all kinds of vegetation. And paleontologists can notice this as they look at growth patterns of the teeth. They can notice that the older teeth are larger, more curved as they're getting closer to falling out, whereas the baby or the newer teeth are smaller, more needle-like in shape as they're coming up from the bottom, you guys, and replacing those older teeth. Now, they have a short snout with weak jaw muscles. They believe might be the weakest jaw muscles of all the sauropod type dinosaurs. They ate soft, low-lying plants, and they even believe that they might have kept their head low towards the ground at maybe all times. Paleontologists noticed their inner ear suggested that the head was normally held low to the ground, you guys, as they're feeding on all kinds of that low-lying vegetation down there on the ground. Now, they have large eye sockets, big nostrils, and you guys, their skull was very, very thin. Paleontologists would put beams of light up against their skull bones, the fossils, and the beam could somewhat go right through it, you guys. So the bone is very, very thin, you guys. So I wouldn't imagine. This one probably needed a helmet for sure as it was walking all around the Cretaceous period. Now, they have lots of fenestra up there in their skull. Remember, fenestra is what we call the name for those skull openings in their heads of those dinosaurs. They have a small neck, you guys, with only 13 vertebrae. Their front legs, when we look at them, they're only 2/3 the size of their back legs, and they have a solid tail behind them. Now, you guys, their tail might have even been whip-like, and they could use it as a weapon, as defense to protect themselves against all kinds of predators. We see it on a close relative, the Diplodocus. So our Nigersaurus, a sauropod, a short neck, solid tail. Their back legs are longer than their front legs, just like most of the sauropods, except for that Brachiosaurus, our arm lizard. They have a very sauropod-like body, and when we look up there at their skull, it's a very thin, fossilized skull, you guys, that flat-edged shovel-like wide mouth with all those teeth up there in the front, making them look like some kind of a vacuum brush, or Darth Vader, or a vacuum cleaner, or maybe even A lawnmower, you guys, a lawnmower back during the Mesozoic era. And shout out to Mowmasters. You guys, my dad has owned his own company ever since I was a little boy. He's mowed lawns and done snow removal, yard work here in the Omaha community, and his business is called Mowmasters of Omaha. So shout out to my dad and Mowmasters. Now, where did this dinosaur live, and how long did the Nigersaurus live during the Mesozoic era? Well, this one, you guys, is coming in 115 to 105 million years ago during that mid-Cretaceous period. It was found in the Republic of Niger, and that's in Western Africa. And it was found in the Alhaz Formation. Now, it was found back in 1965 to 1972 during an expedition. It wasn't described until 1976, but get this, it wasn't officially named until 1999, after they found more fossilized evidence of this prehistoric creature. Then they were able to name it the Nigersaurus, and Paul Sereno is the paleontologist that named this dinosaur genus. Now, it may have even been hunted by predators like the Suchomimus and the Sarcosuchus. So those are two of the predators that might have been hunting our Nigersaurus, you guys. Now, here we go. What is going to be our fossil score? Remember, 1 fossil for some of those weakest dinosaurs, 10 fossils for some of the strongest dinosaurs. A quick recap: Nigersaurus up to 30 feet long, 8 feet high, and weighing just at about 8,800 pounds. They're on 4 legs, or quadrupedal, maybe running somewhere 20 to 25 miles per hour. When we look at their skull, they have a flat edge, shovel-like wide mouth with narrow needle-like 500 teeth that make up a single straight line with those 50 vertical columns of teeth, replaced every 14 days. Short snout, weak jaw muscles, you guys. Their head hung low to the ground, large eye sockets, big nostrils. The skull was thin, lots of fenestra, small neck, you guys. Their front legs only 2/3 the size of their back legs, and a solid tail behind them as they're going around the mid-Cretaceous period. So what is going to be our score for the Nigersaurus? We know it's not going to be in the high 8s like our Brachiosaurus or Apatosaurus brontosaurus. This one is going to make its way down the list a little bit. So at the end of the day, I'm sad to say I had to put this one in the 7s. So our Nigersaurus is going to receive today a 7.3 for the lawnmower of the Mesozoic era. The Nigersaurus, a 7.3 on the Dinosaur Review for Kids podcast. Now, what did everyone think about that prehistoric lawnmower? Wouldn't the Nigersaurus just be the perfect dinosaur for your backyard next summer? I think it would just be amazing. But one thing's for sure, I'll let you guys scoop up all the mountains of that stinky poo. Now, anyways, the reptile from Niger scored a 7.3 on today's episode. Now, sadly, that isn't a good enough score to get this sauropod dinosaur into this season's prehistoric cage match, but at least it's still above a flat 7. Nobody wants to be in the 6s or lower. No offense to all those creatures. Now, as you know, after each review, I'm doing a short interview with one of my awesome Patreon club members. Let's have a seat back on the Speckled log and meet another junior dinosaur ranger. Now, today I'm joined by one of my Raptor Pack Patreon club members. This junior dinosaur ranger loves everything about dinosaurs and has a huge dinosaur collection. I think it might even put my collection to the test. Now, let's all give a ribbit and say hello to junior dinosaur ranger Rowan. Welcome, Rowan. How are you doing today?
Good.
Good. Are you excited for your interview? Awesome, me too. Now, first things first, are you team herbivore or team carnivore?
Herbivore, definitely.
Herbivore, all the plant-eating dinosaurs? Awesome, they're some of my favorites as well. Now, if you had to pick one, what's your favorite dinosaur?
What's the Tapajira?
The Tapajira? Flying up in the sky?
Yes.
They're very cool, huh? They're very awesome. Now, what about one walking down on the ground? Which one's your favorite that's walking on 2 or 4 legs?
Let's the Myosora.
With a Myosaur, that one's very nice. The good mother lizard taking care of their fossilized babies, huh? They're a really cool duck-billed dinosaur. Why do you think you like that one so much?
Because its name means good mother lizard, just like my mother.
Yeah, very nice. Awesome. Now, what's your most favorite dinosaur memory? Do you have a favorite dinosaur memory, like of a museum or a book, a movie?
Well, one of my favorite dinosaur memories is watching one of my favorite dinosaur movies.
Which one's that?
I'm a T-Rex.
I'm a T-Rex? Very cool. What's your favorite part in the movie?
Well, my favorite part is that a Carnotaurus is named my name.
Rowan? Rowan the Carnotaurus? Awesome. Now, I know you have tons and tons and tons of dinosaur toys. How many do you think you have?
Well, actually, I gave a lot away to my baby brother because he loves them so much.
Very cool. Yeah, you got to teach him to love dinosaurs too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how many do you think you've had?
Let's
Over 100?
122.
122? That's wild. I think I have over of the Mattel branded ones, like our Nigersaurus right here, our Nigersaurus. I think I have over 200 of those Mattel branded dinosaur toys from Jurassic World. Just so many. Now, today on our podcast, I gave the Nigersaurus a 7.3. Do you think that was a good score for this long neck sauropod?
Mm-hmm.
A 7.3? Perfect. I wish I could have gave it a few more, but it's not as big as some of those huge long necks like the Brachiosaurus or the Diplodocus, but it is still a pretty cool long-necked dinosaur. Would you write on a long neck?
Actually, I would write on like a small one. Actually, I would actually write on a Nigro.
That would be cool too, huh?
Yeah, he's a pretty cool one.
I think it would be cool to write on a big long-necked dinosaur. It'd be tons of fun. Now, the theme for today's episode was frogs, all my speckled frogs. Do you love frogs? Do you like frogs?
Yeah, but sadly, my frog died.
Oh, man.
And now I turned my frog enclosure into an aquarium for
Very
my
cool. What was your
toy.
frog's name?
Lily pad.
Lily Pad? That's an awesome name. Cute name. What color was he?
Green.
Green? What's in... Go ahead, bud.
He was like a darkish green with some polka dots.
Very cool. Just like our toyers right here, huh? I know you. Where's yours at? Where's your Nigersaurus?
Actually,
Look at it.
okay, I'll get it.
Yeah, you can go run and grab it real quick.
Well, actually, I was gonna paint him for Christmas. He just looks like greenish, but I was actually gonna paint him.
That'd be cool, huh? I've painted a few of mine to make them look a little different too. They're super cool. My favorite color is green, so I really like it on this one. Now, I know you have, do you have another reptile in your aquarium?
Actually, I have a chameleon.
Very cool. What's your chameleon's name?
His name is Pascal.
Pascal, just like in the movie, huh? Entangled. Very cool. Awesome. Well, did you have so much fun joining me for today?
Yep.
So I had tons of fun too. Now, do you have any last roars or words for our listeners?
Well, it was a fact.
Yeah.
This dinosaur's teeth are so small that it can only eat soft plants.
That's right. Our Nigersaurus had tons of teeth too, huh? They're kind of like a prehistoric lawnmower eating all kinds of food off the ground, huh?
Yep.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, I hope you had tons of fun today, and thank you so much for joining me on our podcast. And I can't wait to see you on our next virtual lesson coming this Sunday, okay?
Okay.
Awesome. I'll talk to you later, buddy, okay?
Bye.
See ya.
Merry Christmas.
Now, if you're interested in becoming a junior dinosaur ranger, then join my Patreon club. We still have 2 virtual lessons scheduled for later this month. This Sunday's lesson is called Pleistocene, the Red Trunk Mammoth. And then in 2 weeks, we have a lesson called Santa Claus's Workshop, all about dinosaur toys. We may even unbox some dinosaur toys from Paleo's Toy Bag. So visit my website at stompchomproar.com to find the link about my Patreon club. Now, you guys, let's go ahead and do our joke for today. Why are frogs so happy? Why are frogs so happy? Do you guys know why frogs are so happy? Think about it. What do they eat? What do frogs eat? Maybe that's what makes them so happy. Is it bugs? Well, you guys, it's because they eat whatever bugs them. So our frogs are always happy because they're eating everything that bugs them. And they're eating all those bugs, mosquitoes, flies out there as they're on their little lily pads going down a little stream or a pond or something. Now, I should also mention, my wife and I, we've had frog legs before on one of our anniversary dates when we went to Brother Sebastian's. And you guys, they taste like chicken wings of the sea. So they're like seafood chicken wings or frog legs. Now, they were okay. I'm glad we tried them, but I don't think we'll ever get them again. Now, instead of a question today, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and read the book that I have here that I mentioned at the beginning of our podcast, and it's called 3 Speckled Frogs Sat on a Speckled Log. Now, if you're watching me on YouTube, you guys, you'll be able to see all the pages as well. So there's the front cover, 3 Speckled Frogs Sat on a Speckled Log. 3 little speckled frogs sat on their speckled log, eating the most delicious grubs. Yum, yum! One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Then there were just 2 speckled frogs. There's our speckled frogs right there. One jumped down into the pool. Next page. 2 little speckled frogs sat on their speckled log, eating the most delicious grubs. Yum, yum! One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Then there was just 1 speckled frog. That poor lonely speckled frog. 1 little speckled frog sat on his speckled log, eating the most delicious grubs. Yum, yum! He jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Then there weren't any speckled frogs. The end. And as you can see there, our last speckled frog jumped down into the water. And my littlest daughter, Reagan, you guys, she loves it when I go, yum, yum! So that's why I kind of made that silly little voice when I was having the speckled frogs eating all their grubs. So there you have it, you guys. 3 speckled frogs sat on their speckled log. Now, this book has also a larger meaning for me as of the last couple months, you guys. I've always been a perfectionist and someone who pays close attention to detail. This sometimes can become a little too much or even make things very stressful in my life. For example, I always go too far when recording and editing my podcast. I always try to make them as perfect as I can, and this sometimes leads to a high level of what we like to call anxiety. So I just want everyone to know that sometimes it's okay to make mistakes, and not everything has to be perfect. Don't ruin your day with so many little things, or what I like to call my speckled frogs. We are all in control of our own destinies, and don't let these things fester in your mind and take your attention away from the things you love in life. So shout out to all my past, present, and future speckled frogs, and that's why I went ahead and read the book for you guys today. And I might have even made mistakes in today's podcast, you guys, and I'm going to make sure when I edit them today that I don't go a little overboard trying to make it as perfect as I can, because I know all of you guys, if you're still listening to me on episode like 77, I know that you guys still appreciate everything I do when teaching you guys all about dinosaurs. So shout out again to all those those speckled frogs. Also, before we go, I hope everyone has a happy holiday season. In 2 weeks, I'll upload the Christmas-themed episode all about the rhinoceros. So you're not going to want to miss that one. I'm so excited to do our Christmas-themed episode. Now remember, my name is Dinosaur Ranger Anthony, your speckled frog ranger for today's review all about the Nigersaurus. And as always, keep digging for dinosaurs. We'll see you later.